Hey, it's me again. And I wanted to talk about, the heart. We have the heart and the mind. And, often our heart is just really connected to our emotions and feelings. And it's dangerous when it's like that and there's no discipline. Because we just really gravitate towards anything that feels good. And that's just deadly. Because there's a lot of emotional terrorists out there that they'll just rip us apart. And what's so crazy is some of the people aren't even intentionally trying to harm us, but they're not healthy themselves. So it's inevitable. And I guess I was thinking about this when I was listening to T.D. Jakes, and he had said something about, the scripture about, old wineskins in new wine. And, in the Bible, it talks about how, if you want, if you're going to have new wine, a new life, you have to have a new wineskin. And a thought flashed to me about our heart and how our heart has been just wrecked, just multiply stabbed, beaten, pulped, crushed, just demolished. And we've managed to put it back together with like duct tape, super glue, doing the best that we can. But it's got so many cracks in it. And you guys know that's how I talk. I like to do like pictures, word pictures, so people can understand. So our heart has so many cracks in it, so many dents. So when new love, new relationships come, it can't hold it. It can't hold the healthy blood that gets pumped into the relationship because there's so many holes in our heart. And the first test to know whether you're like that is your ability to love yourself. And if you can't hold that, if you can't hold your own self-worth, then you've got some cracks in your heart, okay? So, obviously the first thing is, how do we fix that, Will? How do we do heart surgery on our own heart? The first thing we need to do is we really need to identify the depth of damage within our heart. And a lot of us, I know we've had our heart broke, but we don't really take a look at the depth of the damage. We don't do a CAT scan of our own situation, because it hurts so much, we bury it, we avoid it, we don't talk about it. And it's like getting hit. It's like having your car get hit real bad by an impact, whether it's a deer or another car, and we keep trying to drive along on the road. I saw this van the other day, and I don't know if it came from the car wash, I don't think so, because it was just leaking, just leaking fluid from underneath the vehicle, and I'm like, what in the world is going on with this vehicle? And I guess they were just trying to get home, and I don't know if they ran over something or what, but it was just being drained. And that's how it is with those of us who try to have a relationship with a broken heart. We've been punctured, so we've just got a drain going on. And so the longer we're in a relationship without getting that fixed, the more it's going to drain, and the less we're going to have. And so what happens is we keep looking to that other person to keep filling us, and it's a bottomless. It's never going to get filled because there's a hole. Some of us have several holes. Some of us have been shot multiple times in our heart, and we've never plugged the wound. So we go into these relationships, and I wonder if, because our heart has been so damaged, if we unconsciously gravitate towards these disposable, dangerous individuals that we don't really know very well, because I almost think that we unconsciously do it because we'd rather deal with someone that isn't that healthy. Because I think, because, we run into people who, I remember I had this client, she just cracked me up. And, she was fussing about her boyfriend or whatnot. And in one of her tirades, she said, he don't know, he met the wrong one at the detox. And I'm cracking up, and I'm like, is there a right one at the detox? And we often hear about these relationships that come out of the hospital. I mean, when I worked in the Key program, it's an in-house program in the jail system. We're doing drug and alcohol treatment, and it was co-ed, which is a horrible, horrible idea. Okay, you put two individuals who are coming off substances, and the first thing they're going to gravitate towards is sex and relationships. So often, we find people in the broom closet, passing notes, whatever, and it's just a horrible idea to get with another. Look, I go to the hospital because I'm sick. So why am I going to get with somebody else who's also not healthy? I mean, and I know in some twisted kind of romantic sense, it says, well, they're working on something, I'm working on something, we can work on it together. That hardly ever works, okay? You can't take two half of a heart. I've got a half a heart, you've got a half a heart, and make a whole heart, because neither person ever gets to be whole. So what we end up doing is we end up dragging emotional resources back and forth, because can we operate with half a heart in real life? No. So when two people come together to make that one heart, you're still operating on half of a heart, which is why those relationships don't work. So what do we do? We have to really get down and do some real self work. Work on that self. Work on your heart. Work on what's going on with you. Why are you so defensive? Why are you so clingy? Why are you so emotional? Why are you so angry? Why are you so bitter? Why are you so lonely? I get that we don't have that special someone, but why don't we have any friends? Why don't we go out? Why don't we socialize? It's like, if we're no good for friendships, what makes you think you're good for a relationship? Yeah, I'm sorry. I know I stepped on some toes, but I gotta be real. I gotta be real. Your social life is an indication on your ability to have a relationship, okay? Your ability to form close, intimate relationships with friends is a sign of health, of emotional health. And we got to be healthy in order to be able to find that right person. When we're broken, when our heart is broken, we can't help but look, let's be truthful. We're desperate, okay? Let's just be real. We are desperate for somebody to love us for who we are. But we don't even love us for who we are. And that's why I wanted to call this, I break my own heart. Because when we neglect ourselves, when we don't take care of ourselves, when we don't love ourselves, we are repeatedly breaking our own heart. So once we find somebody else out of our own broken perspective, and because we're desperate, they're going to break our heart. It's inevitable because we don't know how to take care of our own heart. So how is that other person going to do it? We can't even pick someone correctly that will take care of our heart because we can't set boundaries. We keep shifting the line of our own integrity to compensate for that other person's insecurities. I know that was a mouthful. You just have to rewind the tape to hear that again. But we keep trying to we keep lowering the bar for that special someone, and they're special. They're special, all right. And we keep lowering it because we've lowered the bar for ourselves. How many of us out there have made a list of what we really are looking for in that other person? Or are we afraid to make that list because we're just gonna take whatever? Don't kid yourself. Don't lie. Don't say you got high standards when you're willing to settle for anything. I know they're like, Will, don't go there. But even for those of us who are already in a relationship, you can't keep compromising the integrity of your heart. If you want better communication, start working on it. Get a book, go to counseling, whatever, do something. But don't just keep wishing and complaining because your relationship isn't where you want it to be. You've got to work on it. You got to take that other person aside, and I don't mean during an argument, because that's not the right time. When things are good, over coffee or whatever, and have some good talks. It doesn't have to be hostile. It needs to be helpful. I want to help this other person know me. And I want to get to know them. But if I'm operating from brokenness, I'm scared to let them get to know me. Because I'm afraid that if they get to know me, they're going to reject me. Why? Because I reject myself. I don't like myself. So when you're already operating from that standpoint, your whole relationship is based on a lie. What time? Okay, it's 13 minutes. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. Really take the time. Work on yourself. Heal your own broken heart. You got to heal that thing first. Another person cannot heal what's inside you. They can't. They're there to complement you, to be an asset to what you've already got going on. They're not there to rescue you. They're not there to make you feel whole. There's some good books out for couples. I always recommend The 5 Love Languages. That's a great book. For yourself, if you're single, Switching on the Brain by Dr. Caroline Leaf is incredible. That's a great book to really start rearranging your own thought process on how you feel about yourself. We've got to stop rejecting ourselves, okay? What's another good book? Oh, another good book. I love Billy Alsbrook. Blessed and Unstoppable. That is a phenomenal book on just reawakening our own self-confidence. We have to be confident. And in order to be authentically confident, we have to love ourselves. Now, it doesn't mean we're perfect, but man, we are way better than we think we are. So those are a few books that I'm recommending right off the top of my head that are just really good on getting us in a better frame of mind for the next relationship, okay? Because I don't know about y'all, but I mean, I'm married, but before I met my wife, I was pretty much at the end. I was just like, I know I told my pastor, I was like, look, I think I'm done. I think I'm just gonna wait till I die, get to heaven, and I'll meet my wife there. I mean, because I was just like, look, we'll be glorified, everything will be perfect, I don't gotta worry about nothing, and I'll just meet my wife there. And then I met my wife, and then I met Bam. But I was that tired because I'm old. I'm turning 49, y'all. I'm turning 49 in May. Feel free to send me your birthday presents. But a lot of us don't have another heartbreak in us, so we got to get it right now, okay? So I think I'm running out of time, so I just want to let you guys know that. I love you guys. Call me, text me, message me. Let me know what you think. I'm here for you. Talk to you later.